If you're a COROS user using a Vertix 2, Apex 2, or even the COROS Pace 2, you're gonna wanna watch this video. What's up, friends? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Dave from Chase the Summit, and today we're gonna be talking about a pretty major update from COROS. And it's regarding a whole bunch of different aspects of the COROS ecosystem, from the app on your phone to the functionality of your COROS Pace 2 and even the pricing of the Apex 2. I'm sure COROS will have a full press release and their own YouTube video about all this stuff, but I thought I'd go through some of the new features in the app and on the watch themselves and share my opinion about all of these updates and what they're all about. The first major change in the COROS ecosystem I want to go through is with the COROS app on your phone, because that's really where most of the changes have happened. So let's take a look. The first thing you're gonna notice when you open up the COROS app is that it looks completely different. COROS has done a complete overhaul on the iOS and Android app, and I think they've done a great job. It's a welcome change, and they fixed a lot of things that I've complained about over the past couple of years. The first thing you're gonna notice about the new COROS app is that there's 4 major tabs. So down at the bottom of the screen here, you can see all the way on the left, it says Progress. Then there's Activities, there's Explore, and then there's your profile page. So on the progress page of the COROS app, you get a lot of the same information that you used to get, but it's presented just a little bit better. So up top, you've got your steps, calories burned for the day, and active time for the day. And if you tap on any of these values, you can dive into a graph for all of the individual different metrics. And the cool thing about these graphs is that they're no longer in landscape mode. So on the old COROS app, you had to flip your phone to look at these graphs. That's not the case on this new COROS app, where you can actually just view it and tap on it and see the values by dragging your finger around the screen, which is way better than it used to be. I know that's a minor thing, having to flip your phone on its side, but it was always a pretty big annoyance for me, and I'm glad they finally fixed that. It's way easier to navigate through the graphs on this new COROS app. Another nice change on the progress page is that you've got a training calendar right up top there, and I can tap on any of the days of the week here and see what workout I'm supposed to be doing. For example, today I'm supposed to be running 40 minutes easy or 5 miles. Now, if you click into the training calendar widget, you can actually see more information about your training calendar and all of your upcoming workouts from your training plan. And the cool thing about this is it will display all of your training plan workouts, any strength training workouts that you should be doing, along with any recent activities on the days of the week. Below my training calendar widget, I've got my training load widget, and if I swipe back, we can see some of my activities and my training load from the past 7 days. And again, it's in a graph view that I don't have to flip my phone, and I really appreciate that. And the really cool thing about this new progress page is that it's actually customizable, unlike the old app. So I can scroll down and click on the edit button here, and now if I uncheck any of these blue check marks in the corner of the screen, that'll actually disable that widget so I don't have to look at it. So if I'm not using my training calendar, for example, I can turn that off and just hide it from my view when I enter the app. Scrolling down further, we've got my training status, which says I'm in recovery right now. I've got my recovery advisor telling me what percentage I am recovered. It says 100% right now, and that I'm fresh, and a new widget for running fitness. So if I dive into the running fitness widget here, we've got some more information. And this is sort of a new metric from COROS that gives you a running fitness score that takes a whole bunch of factors into account. And as you can see, my running fitness score right now is 72.6. Again, I've only been using this for a couple of days, so I don't know how accurate this is. Time will tell. Below that, you get all the factors that play into that running fitness score. That would be my base fitness, my endurance, my speed, and my sprint. And if you were low on any particular value on this graph, it would be an indication that you need to improve on your speed, for example. And of course, below the running fitness score, I do have my basic metrics like my estimated VO2 max, my threshold pace, and my threshold heart rate. And at the bottom of the running fitness page, I do get a race predictor for estimated completion times from 5K up to marathon distance. Now that we've talked about the progress page in the COROS app, let's jump over to the Explore page, because I think this is probably the biggest upgrade within the app, and that's the ability to create a course on the map within the app and then sync it to your watch. So if you're unaware, most of these COROS watches, from the Apex 2 to the Apex 2 Pro, the COROS Vertix 2, they all have the ability to follow a designed course that you could download in the past from Strava or Komoot or even from the race director's website or whatever, and then upload it within the app to follow the course on the map on your watch, which is super cool. But previously, the ability to design your own course within the app was always missing, and that's always something I criticize them for, and that's something that Garmin and even brands like Suunto have, and now COROS has built that in as well, and that's a welcome upgrade. So as you can see here, you can see my map, and I'm just gonna scroll around to some random spot, and if I go ahead and click the pencil icon in the corner here, I can actually start designing a course. It can be a run, it can be a ride, or it can be manual point to point. And I'll just scroll to some random spot here and I'll tap on Main Street. So that starts my course. That's my starting point for the course that I'm going to design. Now, if I go ahead and click on any other point, the app will actually draw a line from point to point, and it'll use the roads to guide me so I know exactly where I'm going. So if I want to get from Main Street over to, I don't know, State Street, you can see it will design a course to go the quickest way possible to that point. Another new feature within the Explore tab is the ability to add waypoints to your map. So I can scroll around the page here, click on this little blue beacon icon in the corner of the screen here, click on some point, and you can see it just dropped a pin, a little teal colored pin there. And if I click on that pin, it says waypoint 2. I can click on edit now, and I can give it a different flag. So if I want to give it a different icon, from the beacon to a star to the play button here to a flag, and I can also give it a different name. So if I want to say parking, and click on the parking icon there, you can see that it's saved to the map. And the really cool thing about these waypoints is that now that they're saved to the map, they can also be synced over to your watch, and you can use this for navigation when you're out in the field. For example, if you're gonna go on a long hike, you can mark all of your water sources and stream crossings and camp locations and things like that on the map within the COROS app and sync that all over to your watch. So when you're actually out in the field, you're able to find those exact locations when you're out on your hike or trail run. Now with my course complete, I can go ahead and click done, give my route a name. This will be test 1, done. I can also change the activity type for this particular course if I want it to be a trail run or a hike or even a multi-pitch rock climb. And now that I've got my test course designed and saved, I can actually send it over to one of my watches to navigate in real time, which is super cool. This is a way easier user experience as compared to the way it used to be, where you needed to find a GPX file and then upload it through the app. And now you can do everything within the app, including designing a course, which is a huge upgrade. From within the Explore tab in the COROS app, you can also click on this little folder icon in the bottom right corner here, and that'll bring up your entire library of pre-made courses. This will include any course that you've uploaded in the past via a GPX file. As you can see, I've got a whole bunch in here, but it will also include any courses that you design within the app and save to your library. And on the topic of navigation and mapping, there's also been a huge update when it comes to map management with your COROS watch. So as you can see here, I dropped into my device page within the COROS app, and I've got some new options here. I've got my watch faces, which we had before, my activity data screens if I want to customize them, but if I scroll down, you can also see there's a page for Map Manager, and if I click in on that, a map will be displayed in the region that I'm in. For example, right now I'm in Massachusetts. As you can see there, the little blue dot locates me in Massachusetts. And as you can see, I've already got a few of these tiles already downloaded to the watch. And if I click on the delete button here, it'll show me what tiles I've got downloaded already. And I can tap on those if I want to delete those map tiles. But if I want to download more map tiles, I can click on the download button at the top there, and I can add more tiles to what I've already downloaded. And down at the bottom of the screen, it shows how much free space I have on my watch, which is 17 gigabytes, and how big the maps are, which are about 87 megabytes. And now that I've started a map download within the COROS app on my phone, you can see automatically the download has started on my watch in the background. And now there's a little status icon at the bottom of the screen here that shows what percentage of download is complete, and it actually moves pretty quick. There's also been a couple of under the hood improvements when it comes to mapping and navigation to the COROS Vertix 2, Apex 2, and Apex 2 Pro. So previously, all of these watches could only store 10 courses at a time. That's 10 pre-made GPX files could be uploaded to the watch. Now, after this big firmware update, you can store up to 30 routes at a time, which is a pretty big improvement. And now that we've talked about the COROS Apex 2 series and the Vertix 2 series in their mapping and navigation, I want to talk about another huge update that COROS has introduced to the COROS Pace 2, and that's they added breadcrumb navigation to the COROS Pace 2, which is a huge deal. So if you're unaware, the COROS Pace 2 is a $200 budget entry-level watch, and over the past couple of years, I've praised the COROS Pace 2 for being an affordable option for a lot of people out there because it's got great battery life, a ton of features like training load and recovery advisor, and all kinds of stuff, including triathlon mode and multi-sport mode on a watch that costs just $200, and it's actually pretty nice looking and pleasant to use. Even though the COROS Pace 2 has been a watch that I've always highly praised, it's always been missing one key feature, and that's mapping and navigation. And I never really complained about that because this is an entry-level watch and most $200 watches don't have mapping and navigation. However, COROS has changed that. They've changed the firmware in the COROS Pace 2, and they've added breadcrumb navigation to the Pace 2. So for $200, you're getting crazy long battery life, a good looking watch, a fully functional multi-sport watch with training tools, and now you do get breadcrumb navigation. Now just keep in mind, this is not at the same level as something like the COROS Vertix 2 with its base map. You cannot download maps to the COROS Pace 2, but it does have navigation. And the reason for that is because the Pace 2 doesn't have the internal storage of these other watches and the ability to store map tiles to its internal storage. Just as an example, I want to show you one route that I've already synced over to my COROS Pace 2. You can see here it's a 4.02 mile run. If I click on the top right button here, I can go ahead and either view the elevation details or I can click start course, which I'll just start the course now. And as you can see here, I've got my breadcrumb map view. I can go ahead and scroll down and see my elevation view and all of the high points along the route. I can scroll down again and get back to my map view. I can click in on the map view and now I can zoom into where I am. And as you can see, it's surprisingly responsive for the COROS Pace 2 because I know the internal CPU and GPU inside this watch is not super powerful, but it's plenty powerful enough to display this breadcrumb map. And I think this is going to be a huge and very useful update for people who have previously purchased the COROS Pace 2 and maybe they were looking to upgrade for this navigation function. Now you get it for free. Now that we've talked about mapping and navigation, I want to move right along into the COROS EvoLabs update. So COROS has previously introduced something called COROS EvoLabs, and if you're unaware of what that is, it's basically a training platform for COROS users with estimated VO2 max and fitness goals and training tools and things like that. And now they've updated EvoLabs from 1.0 to a major update with EvoLabs 2.0. Within the EvoLabs 2.0 update, there's a whole bunch of updates to various aspects of the entire EvoLabs platform, and I'm not going to cover everything in this video. I'm just going to mention some of the updates that are notable. The first thing is that they've updated the algorithm that takes place to give you all of your analytics and metrics in the background, and supposedly it's supposed to be a lot more accurate. Again, I've only been testing this new platform for a couple of days now, so I don't have a ton of data to compare to the old platform. All I can say is that they're trying to improve the accuracy. Another huge update to the EvoLabs platform within these COROS watches is a quicker unlocking process. Now, previously, if you're a COROS user, you would be required to record up to 300 minutes of running within 7 days to unlock EvoLabs. And that could be a lot for somebody who's a beginner runner or somebody who's injured or something like that. And there was a whole bunch of complaints about this within the Facebook groups and forums and stuff. So now they've changed this and made it a lot easier to unlock EvoLabs. So with EvoLabs 2.0, the new unlock process is that you need to record up to 25 minutes of running outdoors, and you need to be at 60% of your max heart rate or higher. So really, all you have to do is go for a half-hour run at a pretty moderate pace, and you'll be able to unlock EvoLabs and get all of this data, which is great and a lot easier than that 300-minute benchmark of the past. Along with that easier unlock process, they've also introduced that new running fitness score that I already showed you earlier in this video when we talked about the app. But along with that running fitness score, there's a new running fitness test that's actually on the watch watch itself in the firmware. So as you can see here, I've got a COROS Apex 2 Pro. This is the Kilian Jornet edition. And if I go ahead and click into my activity list, you're going to see a new option for fitness tests. Now within fitness tests, you're going to see that there's a new running fitness test and there's also a resting heart rate test. So the running fitness test, if I dive into that, it'll ask me to provide a previous 10K performance record, so my fastest 10K in recent past, and now it'll tell me about the test. It says perform the test on flat terrain, press the back button to end the warm-up or cool down, and the estimated completion time is 45 minutes. And as you can see here, it's got a 5-minute warm-up. Scroll down, then we go into the test phase 1, that's 25 minutes at an 8:51 to 8:03 pace. Then we go to test 2, 3 minutes at an 8:03 to 7:15 pace. Test 3 is 3 minutes at a 7:15 to 6:34 pace. And you get the idea, each phase of this test gets a little bit faster. So the reason why you do this running fitness test is because it will actually give you your lactate threshold pace along with your lactate threshold heart rate. And again, I've only had this firmware for like a day and I haven't been able to perform this test, but I am gonna give it a shot soon, and then I'll get back to you in a future video on what kind of information I actually get from it. Along with the running fitness test, you also get a resting heart rate test if you dive into this. It tells you to sit still and relax. It takes about 30 seconds, and then it'll try to spit out your resting heart rate for that duration of time. So at this point of the video, you're probably wondering, when can I get all these new features if you're a COROS user? Well, the good news is that they're available now via the beta access platform with COROS. So if you apply to be a beta user, you can get all this new stuff right now. However, if you want to wait for the fully baked production version, it will be coming in the first couple of weeks of May, which is not too far off, so you might as well just wait for that. Okay, now that we've talked about all the new and exciting features coming to your COROS watch in the near future, I want to talk about one more thing, and that's the new updated pricing for the COROS Apex 2 line of watches, because this is kind of a big deal as well. COROS has reduced the price of the COROS Apex 2, the Apex 2 Pro, and the Apex 2 Pro Kilian Jornet edition. The standard Apex 2 went from a previous price of $399, dropped down $50 to $349 here in the USA. The Apex 2 Pro that I'm wearing here was previously $500 here in the USA, and they've knocked $50 off and brought that down to $449 as well. And finally, the COROS Apex 2 Kilian edition that I have here was previously $549, and they've brought this watch down to $499. And I know what you might be thinking right now if you're a COROS Apex 2 user and you just bought your brand new Kilian edition COROS Apex 2 Pro, and you're like, man, I could have saved some money. Well, the good news is COROS is offering a refund for existing users. So you can head over to us.coros.com/Apex2 credit, and I'll link that down below, where you can apply to get a refund for that extra $50 from your watch. This is not a straight up refund. They're not going to mail you a check. They're not going to send it back to your credit card or via PayPal. This is going to be a credit that will be issued in the form of a COROS promo code that can be used on coros.com to buy accessories or a new watch. So yes, you will get a credit for that extra $50, but it's not in the form of money. It's in the form of watch bands and charging cables and things like that. Okay, now that we've talked about all the new stuff with these COROS watches and the new pricing, it's time for the conclusion and final thoughts in this video. COROS is surprising me every time they do this stuff. They're quickly becoming a disruptor in the space of sport watches and technology by offering pretty huge updates in the form of firmware updates to older watches, like this COROS Pace 2 getting navigation is a big deal in my opinion. And not only are they updating older watches like the Pace 2, they're also knocking the price down on newer watches like the Apex 2 and 2 Pro. And sure, I guess some could argue that these watches were a little bit overpriced when they were launched, and maybe they're falling in line of where they should be, but I don't think any other brand would do that. Like Garmin would never knock the price down on a watch they just launched a couple of months ago. So I respect that. And on top of the pricing and updating of older watches, that mapping and navigation update in the COROS app, along with the new EvoLabs platform, there are a lot of welcome changes here, and this is a huge update for the entire COROS ecosystem. I'm looking forward to testing this stuff a lot further. Obviously, I've only had it for a couple of days, so I'm only sharing my initial thoughts in this video, but so far it's looking looking pretty good. Okay, I think we've reached the end of this video. Like I said, this is not an in-depth review about all of these new features in EvoLab 2.0. This is really just a quick overview of what's new and exciting coming from COROS this month. And now's the point in the video where I want to hear from you. Are you a COROS user? Are you excited about all these new updates? Let me know in the comments down below what updates excite you the most, or if you're not a COROS user, if one of these updates changed your mind and now you're gonna be one. Let me know about that too in the comments down below as well. And with that, I gotta go. If you found this video helpful, fun, entertaining, I would really appreciate it if you gave me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel down below, because that really helps me out. And finally, if you are planning on picking up a COROS watch from the Vertix 2 to the Apex 2 Pro or even the Pace 2, check out the links in the description down below, because they do help support this channel and they cost nothing extra to use, so you might as well use them. And with that, I'm gonna go now. I'll see you next time. Bye.